Good afternoon. Salazar Resources is a TSXV listed company, market capitalization about $30 million. TSXV listed company, market capitalization of about $30 million. It's been listed since 2007. And in 2008, Freddie Salazar, who's the CEO pictured there, was leading the team, and they made a discovery of the El Domo VMS deposit in central Ecuador. It's now 2022 and time has ticked on by, but the Ecuadorian government was effectively closed for investment for about 7 or 8 years. But during that time, Freddie built up a drilling company and managed to fund the company creatively. And El Domo is now on track for production. Meanwhile, the company's core expertise is in exploration, and Ecuador is probably kind of the last great frontier or one of the key frontiers at the moment for copper and gold exploration at the moment. Just to put that in context, if you look at the exploration in South America over the last 50 years or so, there was a 20-year period of golden exploration in Chile. So from about 1975 to 1995, this is when the low-hanging fruit was discovered. That's a map of South America with the black dots are all the major deposits, as picked out by Dick Silito, the great geologist. I've just gone through the names and looked at the years that the discoveries and the resources were first noted, really, and it's hard to do because some are majors and some are juniors, but you can really see from 75 with the discovery of El Indio through to 1995 Pascual-Lama, and 1996 Spence. That's kind of, when the majors first start spending the exploration dollars, you get a 2-decade period of kind of great discovery. And then the exploration kind of shifted north, and the same thing happened in Peru. So from 1985 with Yanacocha and going right up to Las Bambas in 2005. And then the exploration dollars kind of just keep going up the Andes. And the first discoveries were really made in Ecuador in 2003. But with that hiatus, politically induced hiatus in exploration for about 10 years, we're right in that window of major exploration discoveries. And the rest of the world kind of knows it. BHP, Rio Tinto, Anglo American, they're all in the country. The government is totally behind the industry. Really, it's the economy is weak, and the government is totally focused on using the resources sector as a key pillar for the economic growth of the country. Our team is extremely well respected in country. We get a lot of inbound comments, and every time BHP or Barrick or Rio Tinto or First Quantum come into the country, they give us a call because we know exactly kind of the way of the land. Because essentially, I'm the only gringo in the company. I'm fluent in Spanish, but everybody else is Ecuadorian, and we've got a kind of a unique approach to operating in Ecuador, principally because we know the geology so well, and we're the only. We're known as the Ecuadorian mining company. We happen to have a Toronto listing as well. The company is actually split into 2 parts. One of the carried interests, which is the mine that's coming into production, and the other exploration assets which are being funded by third parties. And then we've got our own 100% held suite of properties that we're working on. And we've got that lovely pipeline of projects which keeps coming through because of our Ecuadorian connections. So El Domo is the project, the VMS project that was discovered in 2008. It's going to be the next commercial or large-scale mine built in Ecuador. Last year and this year, we completed the feasibility study. The financing was completed in the first quarter of this year. Permitting is underway. We should get the final mine permits September, October of this year, and then we can go straight into construction and development. It's an 18-month development timeline, and then we're into commercial production in the middle of 2024. The open pit will take out the first. That's what the feasibility study covered, was the open pit. That's a 10-year mine life. There's a further 5 years of production that can come after that, and that's in the underground, but that isn't at the feasibility stage yet. But essentially, we'll have 15 years of mine life, and that mine life for Salazar Resources, it becomes effectively a non-profit royalty. It's a valuable financial asset for us. we are in some ways a passive partner, and yet we're still very much involved in speaking to the government, working through the mining permit, getting the power lines put in place. The headline has jumped a bit on the screen, but the mine has been financed by Wheaton, Trafigura, and Adventus. Wheaton have put in a $175 million stream, Trafigura $45 million of debt with associated offtake, and Adventus are the Toronto, our partner who's kind of led the financing, and they are the 75% holder at the project level. So once you take the stream out, the holding company, Kuri Mining, will generate about 20,000 tons per annum of copper equivalent. And we get a quarter of that, so 5,000 tons per annum. Put that into dollars or pounds of copper, that's about 11 million pounds of copper, which comes to us directly. And the feasibility spat out a kind of an all-in cost of $1.26. Even if you say that there's inflation on that and that cost is going to be closer to $2, you're still looking at margins of over $2 because the current copper price is $4.1024 and the average for last year was $4.24. So we're looking at attributable cash flows of anything between $20 and $35 million a year to Salazar on an annual basis for 15 years, starting in 2 or 3 years' time. So you could say that we're trading on kind of 1 times 3 years cash flow. Plus, what you get on the in the equity is all of the upside or the potential from a new discovery. If we can make a new discovery on a new project, we can find the next Warintza or the next Cascabel, then you're talking that kind of gives you the upside leverage. As I said, it's a fully Ecuadorian team. I'm fluent in Spanish, but I live and work here. And this portfolio, we've got a number of porphyry targets that we're working on within southern Ecuador. We've actually got some, we've got a very nice porphyry target in southern Colombia as well, which I haven't marked on there. But those projects in blue, those are the 100% held equity portions. Exploration portfolio projects. So the one right to the south, El Potro, that is a major porphyry project that I've just spent some time walking up and down over the mountains in Ecuador. It's cubic kilometers of fractured and altered and brecciated rock. I mean, I was just cracking every time you stop at an outcrop, you crack it open, then there's kind of disseminated chalcopyrite and lybdenite. It's a really extraordinary prospect, that, and it's just 40 kilometers north of the Rio Blanco porphyry in northern Peru, which is 1 billion tons at 0.8% copper and moly combined. So great exploration upside. We tread very carefully in Ecuador. The social license is perhaps an overused phrase, but it's so important in Ecuador because the above ground risks are perhaps greater than the technical risks of discovery. It's managing the local communities, it's managing the regional government and the federal government, which is such a crucial aspect of operating in Ecuador. And we've been doing this for 14 years within Salazar. Our principals have been doing it all their lives. We've got local shareholders, local stakeholders. We're in it for the long term. I'm almost out of time, so I'm going to skip through the exploration portfolio and just say that the mining cadastre, we've identified new projects. The mining cadastre is looking to make a big splash at PDAC. We've identified several porphyries sticking out of the ground. It's one of the few places where you can go walking, and every time that our geologists go out, they make another kind of observation of interest. In particular, we found a porphyry within a 9,000 hectare suite of concessions, which is running 5% copper at surface, 1 gram gold. And so I hope to be able to bring that to the market in the next couple of weeks. And it's onwards and upwards. Thank you very much.